Hey everyone! Today we've got a slew of topics including how to generate images in only 2 steps using Hyper. We have a powerful new trick to manage our LORAs, and we've got a special topic around special effects to overlay onto your images. Lots to do. Please feel free to share, like, subscribe, get your friends involved, and let's get into it. First, we're going to talk about a new cutting-edge development technique called Hyper, which is going to let you get really great detail in only 2 steps. There's a page linked in the description to bring you to different LORAs that you can download, as well as a safe tensor model file. And I found that while the main model is great, of course you are limited to the content of that model. So the LORAs are great because you can actually use whichever models, SD15 or SDXL models, to be able to generate these really high detailed images in only 2 steps. You can also do 4 steps as well. Nerdy Rodent did a really great breakdown of showing each and every step in multiple different styles. We're not going to repeat it here, but what I can show you very quickly is by applying the LORAs for this new Hyper model. You'll obviously download these files and put them in your LORA folder. When you attach it to your sampler, the effects are really, really amazing. And it does vary based on the type of model you're using. So I have a few examples here just to show you. First one, for example, is this image. This is not using Hyper yet. And same exact settings. You can see there's a lot more detail. And again, this is only 4 steps in this case. I found that 2 steps is actually really great for a very quick pick, but for that extra bit of detail to remove some of those artifacts, I do recommend using the 4-step LORA. But it's still very, very quick, and compared to Lightning, this is a Lightning model. You can see it's not bad at 4 steps and 4 steps, but the level of detail is really insane. A lot better. This model that I'm using here is the Photoreal Viz 4.0. It is the top photo model in the SDXL top 10 spreadsheet that is also linked in the description. Our second example here is you can see a few artifacts here in the Lightning version. If I use the Hyper version, all those artifacts are gone. This model is the I can't believe it's not photo Lightning version. Finally, last example here, this model is the AI Real Lightning model, also 4 steps across the board. And for all these, I included the new perturbed attention guidance node from the last video. I found that also adds a little bit of extra detail for no real performance loss. And you can see in this case, it's an immense amount of detail change for no performance difference at all. And it's, again, 4 steps. So this is really, obviously for static imagery, this is going to have a significant change to really increase and boost your image results, but also for video, which we don't cover here, but we'll be covering soon. It's going to really greatly be a game changer for creating your own videos as well. Okay, our second topic is around Supir. So we had a previous video that walked through setting up Supir. It's basically your upscaler and detailer. And you can see, from the initial image we've got here compared to our end image, right? Lots more detail being provided in bubbles and all the fine details. So this is a really great finisher. So if you haven't seen that other video, I would definitely check it out. The update is actually the model has been pruned, which means it's been finely tailored to remove a lot of the extra details that typically aren't used. And by doing so, it's reduced the size of the model. And we know that everyone's hard drives are filling up because of all the models. It really reduces it by over 50%. So I'll have a link in there as well. The only change that you'll make to your existing Supir workflow is under the Supir model here, you'll reference that new fine-tuned model, that pruned model, but everything else pretty much stays the same and the quality is just as good. All right, on to the third topic. So a lot of you may have lots of different LORAs by now. Character LORAs, detail LORAs, environment LORAs, and it's easy to really get lost in all the mess that you have to do to create the LORA stack in order for you to render the way you want to render. So for example here, if I'm just creating a picture of a blue lagoon with silhouetted individuals, right? All's good, it's a beautiful picture, but I may want to have additional LORAs involved. So typically what I would do is I would create have my LORA loader here, right? I might have to go search for what kind. So maybe I want to include, skin details here. I may, then obviously I have to hook it up, and then I have to, add another LORA to chain it along the way. And maybe here I want to add, saturate the colors of the image a little bit more. And heck, I need another LORA. Maybe I have characters I want to include, or I want to, do one of my accelerators here for, either Hyper or LCM, etc. Or I want to include a crowd of people. So you can see, every single time I want to add a LORA, I'm adding more and more and more along the way, which of course is becoming a giant mess, right? You have all these LORAs all over the place, and it's just kind of, LORA pits. Yeah, you don't want to be involved in there. So instead of doing all that, I'm going to just delete all that. We have a tool that's available, a node that is called the Power LORA Loader. It is by RG3. I think it's existed for some time. I just came across it the other day and I was like, whoa, I need to let you guys know about this. So literally, you hook it up as you normally would, but instead of having to daisy chain every single LORA all the way, you can just simply do them here in a single amount. So if I have, for example, again, these are all my sorts of LORAs. I'm going to just add a few here just to set. You can see you have complete control in a single node. You can individually turn them on and off to play with them. You can individually change their weights as well, but it's all in a single spot. You can right click to remove them. You can move them up and down in terms of the priorities. So this is a game changer for LORAs. It really, really makes a difference. It's going to clean up your workflows a ton. Definitely recommend picking that up. Okay, our final topic here is around special effects. So a lot of you have come to me saying, how do you add some special effects to my images? I want to, overlay some really cool things. And there's definitely different ways to do it, but I wanted to show you two interesting perspectives. So first of all, I've got a swimmer here. She's on her back, right? She's swimming. And, I changed some just slight effect adjustments here. But if I go to number 2 here, I'm creating a separate sampler to have just some swirls. This is going to be my effect, and I'm going to put it overlaid on top and render it in. And you can see I'm using my grounding dyno. So there's a different video you can check out on how you can select that automatically. I'm automatically selecting all the circular information. And then I'm going to overlay that on top of my original image, the overlay image video. And so right now it's kind of cool, right? You have kind of like this overlaid look, but it's not really overly blended. It's just kind of just laid on top, almost like a Photoshop layer. And so the next piece is then taking it into an image to image, right? And inside this, I am adding kind of a little extra conditioning around golden swirl discs in the water. And I'm also using the advanced sampler, as we saw in a couple of videos ago, because I only want to kind of modify the last half or so of the image rendering. And you can see it's a striking image. You have lots of kind of wave effects inside of the swirls, so it really adds that level of polish for your imagery. Now, in this case, right, I created a brand new sort of image from a render, but sometimes you may have an existing image you want to load, or even you may want to draw it yourself. So the last piece example here is canvas. So I just created a canvas node, and in here I just did some brief, drawing, just some squiggles As you know, I'm not Bob Ross. And so just made some kind of heart squiggles, etc. I then wanted to take that into an overlay, as you can see here. One thing that's new, by the way, that's been fixed recently, under the efficiency nodes, that opacity for overlaying now works. It was broken previously. So you can see I added a little bit of opacity so it overlays on top of the swimmer. But again, it looks a little Photoshoppy. It doesn't really look kind of blended in. And into my conditioner, I just wanted it to be this kind of golden red disc in the water, intertwining with some red ribbons into my swimmer. Again, sampler's the advanced sampler, so we're only doing kind of midway near the end. And I did add a face detailer, but you can see, again, very striking image. I've got the ribbons, but they're overlaying and kind of blending into the main subject matter, which is really creating a striking image. So hope this was helpful as always. Also, please feel free to click the join button. We have office hours for those that have some support questions and want some dedicated quick time for some quick answers. And always, we will talk to you soon.